be the most, and you don't act it and you don't look it, but I think you're probably pretty tired because I've seen you all over America.
Dude. I feel like you. Like there was one time where I was like, I feel like Bobby is in 5 places at once. Like how in the world? But you somehow do it.
You know, and it's so great to be tired, and I know you'll speak to this. It's so great to be tired doing what you love after you work so hard to do it, and you thought, I don't know if it's ever going to, you know, it's just so great to be that tired, right?
Yeah, it's like you work hard to work harder, and I'm okay with it.
What is your life like now?
It's a lot different. I remember just like praying and hoping anybody would just give me an opportunity just to play their, 4-hour bar gig. And we have a lot of things like thrown at us right now, which is just a blessing. And so I think we're playing like 125, 130 shows this year.
Wow.
So 90-0, we're going to be finally on a bus here in just like a few days.
Which means, for our audience who just think you get buses for free, if you're like, I can tell you that when we have to rent a bus to go out on a weekend, because we don't play every weekend like you do, I'm paying like $4,500 a weekend.
It's a lot.
To have a bus driver, they got to drive, they got
diesel, all of it.
So that means now you're actually like making a living where that you can afford a bus, which actually lets you stay healthy, sleep. Like that's such a big step. Congratulations.
I'm so looking forward to like playing a show, doing my thing, and then like I'm going to get to be horizontal for a few hours because we've just been, vanning it, been flying anytime we can. And, but like I said, I ain't complaining about it. This is what it is.
Yeah.
This is what I've been working hard for.
It's awesome. And I love to see it. And we flew back with you from Austin. And I was like, Lainey, how long you home? You're like, about 36 hours. And I was like, all right, I'll see you.
Yeah.
So I'll see you the next day or so.
It's the truth.
You got 2 number ones now, which, I mean, shot out of a cannon. You hit with this one right here. This is Lainey's first number one.
Yeah, I know a few things a man ought to know.
And then Cole Swindell and Lainey Wilson put this song out.
Never say never with you, I end up together with
Which, you got to shout out Cole a little bit because when if I'm right here, when you recorded that song, did you have a number one yourself already?
We thought we were going to have one, but no, it was not set in stone. It was like...
So he took a risk.
He took a big risk, and I owe him so much. Like, I think it is so important to have people like Cole, like, on your team and kind of, like, rooting for you and showing the rest of the world, like, hey, I believe in this girl. Maybe you should, too. And that's what he's done for me. I mean, it's been huge.
Your hometown... Right now, describe it for me. If I drive into your hometown, what's it called and what's it look like?
Baskin, population 263.
Baskin,
Louisiana.
And what part of the state is that in, like the boot?
Northeast corner.
Okay.
So I'm like 30 miles from Arkansas and 30 miles from Mississippi. So we're like right there in the corner.
And so what do you see in your hometown?
Well, you go over Big Creek Bridge into Franklin Parish because, we have parishes.
Not
we don't
counties,
have counties. Yeah. And you see a bunch of cornfields. You'll probably see my daddy on the tractor. And he's a farmer. Corn, wheat, soybeans, oats. Yeah. You'll probably see my mama out there taking him food to the field. Like, that's what it is. We don't even have a red light. We have a caution light. And that's about it. But that's what makes Baskin.
What do they think about you now?
Oh, my gosh. Well, all 263 of them are pretty much family, so they don't treat me any different. Except there's a few people who are like, hey, I think we might be cousins.
Oh, you'll get a lot of that. And they'll show up at shows. Like, I'm Lainey's cousin.
Prove it.
Yeah. You have a new song, Heart Like a Truck. Mm-hmm. So this is the first song off the whole project.
That's
here.
It. Yep.
But so tell me about Heart Like a Truck because you wrote it, and I'm always curious, when you get into a room, where the idea of this song comes from.
Well, I think the last few years, everybody has been put through the ringer in one way or another. And so while we wrote the song, we were definitely all in the middle of going through some things. But, if there's anything I know about myself and my friends and the people I surround myself with and a lot of my fans that I've met, everybody goes through things in life, but it's not about where you've been, it's about where you're going. And it's about getting stronger and better for it on the other side of it. So that's really what the song's about. It's about finding your freedom and your strength and not being afraid of your scars and your bruises and bumps along the way and just embracing it.
So you posted a picture on Instagram of a guy with your face tattooed on his arm.
Yes.
How did that make you feel?
I was like, I hope you really like me several years from now because you're going to be living with that forever. It wasn't just like a little tattoo. It was like, I'm not even playing the size of my head on his arm. Like, I put my head next to the tattoo of me, and it was the same exact size. I was like, I'm flattered, but I would have never done that.
Well, now you can't commit a crime or like one so bad that he's embarrassed to have you. There's a lot of pressure there now.
That's it. That's it.
There's a guy, shout out Big Shrimp. He tattooed my like shoulders to top of head, and I knew he was doing it, and I was like, I don't know if you want to do that. Oh my God. And he's like, I do want to do it, and then I was like, it's probably not gonna, but it looks great. It looks just like me. Does yours look like you?
Yes, it was strange.
Isn't it crazy how good they can draw on skin?
Oh my gosh, man. I know it was unreal. I was flattered though, but it was so funny. We were in a meet and greet in Duluth, Minnesota, and I hung out with the folks for probably about like 10 minutes, just getting to know them. And then we were leaving, and then he was like, "Oh, Lainey, come back! I forgot. I got to show you something." Like that was just the thing he forgot, and then he like pulled up a sleeve and was like, "Check this out." And I'm like, "Oh, she ugly."
That's crazy though, isn't it, to see that like
it's
permanent?
crazy.
Lainey Wilson is here right now. She's just killing it. So if I'm to go through just some recent stuff, you have obviously a solo #1. You have a #1 with Cole. You won ACM like new female artist.
Yep.
And you got the big trophy, and you got up. You're very emotional.
Yep.
Authentically emotional. So are you able to like take it in and enjoy it right now at all? Do you get to go home or just sit and just be like, I cannot believe what's happening, or is it still just kind of going so fast?
It's been going fast, but I've been definitely trying to make sure that I take a moment, even if it's for 10 minutes, just to sit there and be like, wow, look how far we've come. And we're just getting started. And I'm just excited. I have an incredible team and family, and everybody has just supported me. Like, and the love that I feel from Nashville right now, and just from radio in general, and like the fans, it really is crazy. It's hard for me to even put it into words, because I truly feel like they have just embraced me for me. And I can't be anything other than myself. So it's a good feeling to be able to do these things and do it by being me.
You were a rodeo flag girl?
Yeah.
So tell me about that. What does that constitute?
So me and my sister, we were PRCA rodeo flag girls. We would ride in with the American flags. I'd sing the national anthem, get the words wrong every time because I was so nervous. And you never live that one down, Lord. But yeah, so I grew up doing that kind of stuff. Like my daddy's the treasurer of the rodeo committee and stuff like that. So grew up on the back of a horse before I could even walk.
I think, what's going to be cool for you is when people stop asking you about Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Because that, and I think with Cole, it's funny, these two stories, I think people are just now starting to not ask Cole Swindell about doing merch for Luke.
Yep.
Because that was the first story that people were like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And I know Cole's like, oh my God, if somebody asks me one more time about doing
know.
merch. He doesn't say it on the air, but,
Yep.
And I don't ever, sometimes I'll make a point on the air to go, hey, I didn't ask you about Luke doing merch.
Yeah.
But are you finding now that you've had such success that people aren't as much asking about the old crutch of the Miley Cyrus thing?
Yes. It's interesting. Like, I mean, it's fun to talk about, but my Lord, that was a long time ago, and been there, done that. So
what I love about your story is you would drive back home to make money to play in clubs and bars there, to come back and then stay in Nashville and try to make it. Mm-hmm. That's true testament to the hard work that you put in. And I guess my question is, because you've always had a very specific style. It's kind of like a country hippie type thing.
Yep.
I hope that's not offensive to you.
Heck no.
Okay. And I know that you would go and I'd say, like, where do you find these clothes? You'd be like, well, I go to this thrift shop. I go to this thrift shop. But now do you have people reaching out going, I can actually style you because, I like what you're doing, and we can do, I mean, is that happening now?
Yeah, so I have these two girls that I work with for like award shows and stuff, and they put outfits together for me, Julie and Jerry, and they are incredible. They like take what I do and just kind of like elevate it a little bit. But for the most part, every other day, like I have people send me stuff. They'll send me some bell bottoms and stuff like that, but I still dress myself. I mean, like, this is it. I just throw in a bunch of stuff that don't match, and like, if I don't feel like doing the top of my hair, I put on a hat. And
if it all doesn't match, though, it matches. That's what I've learned. If it all doesn't match, Caitlin and I were at the mall in Las Vegas. I think we were doing the iHeart Festival in Vegas, and we had decided to go walk around one of those fancy malls in the casinos. And so I've got on a pair of like Razorback shorts, a cutout shirt that's from some free shirt. I got some flip-flops. I got a hat. And Kaylin is always she puts herself together. She loves fashion. And we walk in and the guy's like, talking to me, he goes, I love your style. And she looks at me like, what is happening? But it was so bad that I think he thought it was purposeful for me. So that's when I learned, as long as everything doesn't match, people will think that matches.
You did it on purpose.
Yes. Not saying that's you, but that's my one.
No,
and I didn't let her
do.
live it down forever. I was like, hey, I'm Mr. Style this weekend, so if you need notes, I'll let you know. Well, listen, I'm super proud for you.
Thank you, man.
You know what? The first time I met Lainey, I think I messaged you on Instagram. This is 3 or 4 years ago. And I said, hey, you're doing that Blanco Brown dance in the video.
Yeah.
You know, the Get Up before it was like a big radio song. I said, hey, could you come over to my house and teach me how to do that? And she was like, yeah. And she goes, I'll just call Blanco and he'd come over too. And so they both come over. They teach us how to do it. And then she didn't even ask to be in the video. She's like, I taught it to you.
No.
You can just do it. And so our video, you know, did get a few million views. But I remember Lainey just hanging out at the house. And I was like, dang, she's not even like trying to get in the video. Like, she's so cool. She just wanted to make sure. She even brought Blanco. And like that was the first. Like,
I was just glad to be there.
Yeah, it's just so fun to see you killing it. You got a new song out today. Now, they say first on the album. When is there any sort of time frame on when more music comes out?
It will definitely be this year. It'll be later this year. We just got out of the studio and we're still, you know, tying up some loose ends and stuff. But man, it's a step up, and it's not just because I'm partial. I mean, it's like I feel like I've just grown a lot as a human in the past few years, and definitely as a songwriter and artist too. So I think we all have just grown. So I'm excited for the rest of the world to hear it.
I'm going to ask you one final question. If I go to your house and you have open your refrigerator, what are the 3 items that I find in your refrigerator?
Oh my gosh, right now?
Right now.
Probably something from 3 weeks ago. I've been trying to drink these like core protein drinks.
For what reason?
Just because we've been so dang busy, like I don't have time to stop by Starbucks and get my matcha all the time. Like I need to, you know, fuel my body somehow, and that's the easiest way. You might find some like leftovers from like Outback or something, the Alice Springs chicken.
Oh, that's where you go, huh? The Alice Springs chicken.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh. What else are you going to find? A lot of condiments that have been there just for like, it's
Ever.
embarrassing.
Yeah, because you don't have to throw them away.
Like how many bottles of ketchup do you really need?
Lainey Wilson, she played her iHeart Country Festival, and Eddie had declared you were the best performance of the night.
Yes, and you are now one of my favorite country artists of all time.
Dude.
Of all time.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean,
But you're partial because we got to spend a lot of
we
time
have.
together.
I mean, in the last few weeks, we spent a lot of time together. But I mean, just talking to you right now, I think everyone understands why you're so good at what you do. Your
sweet.
story, your talent, your voice, you're just all of it.
thank
So
you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Ram trucks, they were all over the iHeart Country Festival. A great performance from Dirks, Marin, and Lainey Wilson, who's here. They were also showing off a brand new model of the Ram truck in the arena, a special Ram 1500 built to serve firefighter edition. And Eddie and Lainey shot a video before Country Fest where they hooked up a local firefighter with a trip to the festival. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We did.
Amazing.
That was a lot of fun.
She was good too, man, on camera.
No, it
Watch
was
out.
fun.
Next stop, movies.
Oh, hey, you never know. You never know.
Lainey, you're killing it. It's great to see you. Thanks
Great
for
to
bringing
see
in a new
y'all.
song today.
Thanks,
and
man.
I'm sure we will see you soon if you're ever in town.
All
and
right.
at the more tired you get, I have to check in with myself sometimes and
Dude.
say it too. I'm so lucky to be so tired because it's all I've ever wanted.
That's it. That's it.
Well, I
been
have a
doing-
Lainey story that I just want to that you wouldn't know about, or someone was bragging about you, but you had just performed with Dirks at the country festival, and it was so amazing. And then immediately after that, Dirks came back to do a radio broadcast interview, and I was doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be interviewing him.
Yeah.
And all he could talk about for 5 minutes was you.
Oh,
So
I will take that.
yes, I know.
That was
I
a
just-
bucket list moment for me.
yeah.
I had never even met Dirks until about 3 minutes before we went on stage. Like we ran through it halfway,
Really?
backstage, and then I was like, "What's going on, brother? Let's do it."
That's awesome.
It looked like y'all
That's
had done
funny.
that together a million
No.
times. Y'all killed it.
I felt like I'd known forever.
Yeah.
That was good.
It's a Bobby Bones show.